welcome. You're watching Market Meter on Money9, India's first multilingual platform for personal finance from TV9 News Network. I'm Sakshi Batra. On this show, we recap for you the day's market action in the first half of trade and also help you understand what should be your strategy going on from here. To help us do that, joining us is Mr. G. Chokalingam from Economics Research. He's a fundamental expert. Mr. Chokalingam, good afternoon and thank you very much for joining in. First up, I'd like to understand from you, how are you looking at the markets currently, which have been, trapped in the midst of volatility and a whole lot of factors that have been impacting, be it domestic factors and global factors. Macro data has also not worked in favor as well. So how are you looking at the markets currently?
Certainly at benchmark level, I see 3 to 5% plus or minus for another 4 to 6 months. But I do not expect any major crash in the market. Stimulus is going to help, a lot of liquidity is going to flow, the rupee is going to strengthen thanks to economic recovery and GDP growth improving in double digit. And also a lot of new investors are coming in. In the last fortnight, on an average, 60 to 70,000 new investors are coming in. So the market would remain quite firm, but it may not give double-digit return in the next 6 months. That is for the benchmark indices like Nifty and Sensex. But however, the small and mid-cap space would continue to remain very robust, and that space is going to create a lot of opportunities. And the correction may come after September, because September quarter results will be little bad on year-on-year basis. However, as I have been saying, March quarter and June quarter, year-on-year basis, corporate earning growth will be excellent, mainly because of the base effect, low base effect. So therefore, I believe the good time in small cap and mid cap will continue till August or September.
Okay, so mid cap and small cap are likely to outperform. That's the space to keep an eye out on for sure. But what about sectors? Which sectors in the mid cap and small cap space are you eyeing right now? What sectors are going to outperform going on from here?
Normally, the small cap, mid cap space, it's largely sector agnostic, because out of 4,500 stocks listed, almost 4,000 stocks qualify for small cap and mid cap. So I would play on, rather than on any broad sector. So I play on the acquisition thing. If you look at the PE funds, normally they used to invest in unlisted companies, but of late they started investing in listed space as well. So I am expecting them to invest heavily in mid-sized pharma and mid-sized IT companies in the listed space. So that is one theme which can play out. And otherwise, normally it is sector agnostic. I have a couple of ideas to share.
All right, we'll talk about your ideas, but one quick comment on the primary market space as well. It has been raining IPOs. Today, again, we've seen Kalyan Jewellers also open for its IPO as well. What is your outlook on the IPO space currently and the names that are currently open for subscription? And is there any IPO that you would like to ask investors to keep an eye out on?
So IPOs which are opening today and the next 2-3 days, we have looked at their valuation. None of them qualify on the fundamental basis for subscriptions. However, people like us, if we tell investors not to apply, then 9 out of 10 they would miss the opportunity, tactical opportunity. Those who can take risk can apply for all these IPOs which are opening in the next 2-3 days. But on listing, please try to take out the profit, because it is purely a speculative element which is helping them to make money. So risk-taking investors should apply and take the profit on listing day itself.
Okay, and let's now come to the stock recommendations that you have for investors. Which are the spaces that you're looking at? Which stocks have the potential over the next 1 to 2 years to give robust returns?
3 ideas. One is Epix Cash. It's an MNC, formerly known as Weisman Forex. It has been taken over by NASDAQ listed MNC recently. In fact, Weisman Forex moved close to 2,000 rupees. Now it's a little less than 500 or around 500. Very surprising. This MNC stock is trading at 10 PE on current year earning, and less than 10, around single digit P of 9 on FY22 earning. The business is basically into money exchange business and foreign transaction business. Sorry, the money transfer business and foreign exchange transactions. Despite corona pandemic, and which has impacted foreign exchange transaction very badly, Evix Cash has done phenomenally well for the first 9 months of FY22. That is because they have built a very strong business, in case of money transfer segment. So therefore, in the 9 months, the profit in fact has gone up, and also they have controlled the cost. And strong balance sheet. And recently, the company has also got into many financial technology-based solutions for various segments, including banks, insurance, distribution, etc. So this is one stock I am overly confident of making wealth. The second is Kaplan Point Laboratories. The stock also corrected substantially, around 25-30% from 52-week high. Strong balance sheet. In the last 10 years, the profit has gone up by about 34 times when revenue has gone up by 10 times. And it would continue to maintain a significant growth in the next 2-3 years. Recently, they got into US injectable business, which is US FDA approved. And I am pretty confident that this company will do very well. And it has got a very high margin of around 30%. And surprisingly, it trades at just about 13 P on FY22 earning. So one can consider this. Then Sun TV, more of a technical in nature. We all know that media companies used to trade at even 25 to 30 PE. Now the Sun TV PE has come down to around 12 on 1 year forward earning. Strong cash on the books, over 3,000 crore cash, and very low retail float if you exclude a promoter and institutional holding. So normally I see strong correlation between a low retail float and valuation multiple, whereas this valuation multiple is quite low, but I see opportunity for re-rating. Also, my expectation is that there is a possibility of, the state assembly election, changing the perception favorably for Sun TV post Tamil Nadu assembly election. So that can be a tactical trigger in the short term. And considering all this, I would suggest on a tactical basis for short to medium term Sun TV as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chikkulingam, for joining us and for sharing your stock recommendations with us and your market outlook, as well as sharing your perspective on the mid and small cap space and the sectors as well. Let's quickly just recap for all the investors and viewers watching this show. Mr. Chikkulingam has given 3 buy ideas for today: Evix Cash, Sun TV and Kaplan Point, all of them in the similar price range, and the target price also for all of them is around 600 to 630 rupees per share over a course of about 12-month period as well. So a sharp upside from the current levels is expected because the fundamentals are definitely backing all of these points as well. Moving on to see how the markets are trading at this point in time, and you'll be able to see that the markets, as far as the Nifty Bank is concerned, that is underperforming right now with 0.25% of losses. Otherwise, if you see the benchmark indices are holding on to the gains that they had seen in the opening levels, but crucial levels of say 15,000, the Nifty 50 is still trading below that, 50,616 for the Sensex with just addition of about 221 points. They have come off the opening highs a little bit, but we'll just have to wait and watch to understand whether the markets will be able to continue these gains towards the close of the session as well. Mr. Chikkulingam also clearly said that it will be interesting to watch how the mid cap and the small cap space really pans out. This is where the outperformance may come in the coming months and quarters as well. So keep an eye out on this one as well. Now, as far as the primary space is concerned, keep an eye out on Kalyan Jewellers as well. The IPO has already got a subscription of 25% so far. The IPO opened today for subscription at 10 a.m. It will close on March 18. Now, the company has fixed a price band of 86 to 87 rupees per share. Remember, it's a combination. It's a 1175 crore rupees IPO. It's a combination of both the fresh issue of shares and offer for sale as well. A whole lot of experts have talked about it. Brokerage houses have also given their subscription ideas whether investors should really go for this IPO or not. So to know all of that, you can definitely log on to money9.com and read up on all that information as well. For now, we wrap up this edition of Market Meter, but a whole lot of action on markets and personal finance up next. So stay tuned with us on Money9.